Well, okay. Okay, Ian and I are trying to get on here. We're trying to have a little chat. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2019. Great to be here with you all. So my guest, as soon as we figure out the techno stuff, is going to be Brother Ian Morris, and he's going to share his new album with us. So looking forward to that. It's a, pardon me, blue sky here. There he is. Gotcha. Okay, there we go. Blue sky in Ireland today. Lovely day.
Hey.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, there he is.
Okay.
Okay.
I have an echo.
I have an echo. Do you have me still on Messenger?
No.
Or
okay.
Okay.
La 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 la. How about now?
How about now?
Is that better?
I still have
I
an
still
echo.
have an echo.
Huh.
Maybe just turn
the volume down on your video.
On your face.
On your face.
As long as
I have.
Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I still
Okay.
have
I
the
still have the echo
from me though.
From me though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I can do.
Okay.
Okay.
There.
We'll get there.
Test, test.
Test, test.
How about now?
Test.
Test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No.
better?
No.
No.
Same thing.
Same thing.
No.
Headphones
will help, I think.
Says Rebecca.
If only I had a pair hanging around.
La 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 la.
How about that?
Now? Yeah.
Is that better?
Yes, that's good. That's
Okay.
got it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
We did it. We're here. Yes. So
Okay, cool.
I was just playing Belief Over Body one more time, which, as you know, is my favorite Ian Morris theme song. And I've used it 1,000 times now, last year anyway. So Ian, it's great to have you, my friend. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm glad we got the echo taken care of, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So
Yeah.
we have many Ian Morris fans, Rebecca Arnold and Dennis and Lydia. So people can ask Ian questions if you want to type in something there about his music. But we want to talk about your great music, and we want to talk about your new album, Protocol Omega. How did you come up with that title?
Well, Omega, being the ending or the new beginning, depending on how you look at it. And
Right.
So I just really felt when we were in the December, last year, I just really felt the energy amping up for January. And I just really believe that January, February are going to be really powerful changes in a lot of people's lives. I can feel it
Yeah.
energetically,
Yeah.
but you can also see it in, all across the board, from finance to politics to, even just consciousness, people waking up, learning more about politics, learning more about the food they're putting in their bodies. And so I was watching a show called Travelers. Are you familiar with that on Netflix?
Yes, it's a time travel. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And so the last episode of the third season, they talked about Protocol Omega, and it was this scenario where they had this, 3 seasons of a mission to save Earth. And at the end, the protocol omega was, activated, and so a lot of the team didn't know what that meant, and they asked the leader, what does that mean? And he says, well, we either completed our mission and did what we were supposed to do, or we failed. And I think it was such a profound moment for me watching that, because it's like, I think a lot of people feel that way in their life, where it's like, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
It hasn't looked the way I wanted it to. Have I completed? Am I going down the path of completing why I'm here on Earth?
Sure.
And
Sure. Sure.
cutting through the mundane and the monotonous stuff, and really getting in touch with your heart and asking yourself that question. And so it really resonated with me, and it
Beautiful.
just became the theme of the album, for the month, was just
Right.
the new beginnings and the uncertainty, and
Right.
kind of sticking to your goals and following your heart.
Beautiful. Well, you follow astrology. I just read recently that January, we just shifted out of 6 planets who had been retrograde, which had been retrograde for 5 months, and now all 6 of them have gone direct for the next 6 months, I believe, something like the next several months anyway. And we have the new moon, the full moon at 0 degrees, January, and the next 4 or 5 months as well. And of course, we also have, as you point out to me, a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse in the month of January.
Yeah.
So that's powerful.
Yeah, it was, there was a lot of energy going on this month, in astrology and just on the planet in general. And so on the album, we utilized the sun frequency and the moon frequency, definitely this month. And so those were really powerful tracks.
Right. I have a little bit of the sun here. Yeah, it's beautiful. Brilliant. So how did that inspire you, or how did that affect the music?
Well, I think if you listen to the meditation tracks on this album, they were really influenced by Brian Eno. You
Great.
can hear, yeah,
Yeah.
you can hear
He's
the synthesizer and the piano, and the slow arpeggiated notes, and it just was something that really set up a peaceful feeling for me.
sure.
And
Can I
I
can,
wanted.
can I tell you, music for airports was a revelation for me back in the day when it was first released. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first albums I got of his. So that was
Right.
like really an influence
Same
definitely
here.
on me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um yeah, so with the sun frequency, I wanted to create something that would make people feel at peace and at ease, but
Right.
also give them a feeling like they were floating in space, just like if they were a planet or a star that was observing the sun. So that's
Right.
kind of what the intention was behind that track.
Beautiful. It is very dreamy. I just got it, so I'll have to really hang out with that. I just picked that up today. Do you want to talk about the other cuts on the album, The Increment of Great Development?
Yeah. So on the albums that I do, usually the first one or two tracks are mid-tempo, upbeat. And the reason I do that, we've probably talked about it before, but I'll just, share
Sure.
it again for new
Be my guest.
listeners. But
This is brand new. Yeah.
yeah, so the reason why I do that is a lot of times when we're using this music and meditation and in groups, everyone that comes in the room is bringing some kind of baggage or heaviness, because we're all human. And so whether it's stress of the work or money or, just going through a divorce or a breakup or something like that, everyone that's coming in the room has something that they're dealing with and processing. And so the first two tracks on the album are usually meant to kind of meet the people, that are, coming together to listen in the place where they're at, and to shake loose, use drums and using frequency and some upbeat songs to create smiles, to create new moods in the room. and
Right.
to start everyone off on, kind of a blank canvas, with their emotions. And so, as the album goes on, it downshifts in tempo and beats per minute.
Mm-hmm.
And we just start really working with really meditative, sedative tracks, to create release and to create, peacefulness, with the
Mm-hmm.
tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the first track on this album is actually working with the throat chakra in standard tune. And the throat chakra is 624 standard tune hertz. And so I'm using the octave below, which is 312
Okay.
hertz for the throat chakra. And so I really feel like this month is going to be about us speaking our truth, getting right with our heart. Like, what is it that I really am wanting to do? Because there's going to be a lot of clearing away, January and February, where we're starting to see new gaps and openings where, we've got new places to invest our time and energy. And so
Right.
I just wanted everyone, to be, kind of lit up with the throat chakra and to create a balance there that would help people speak truth and kind of
Wow.
manifest and speak from a place of power, for
Brilliant.
January. And so that's
That's
why the
great.
track opens up with that.
Right. Right.
And I've had a few people comment on it and they say it reminds them of kind of like a Coldplay-esque song and things like that. There's not a lot of piano in it, so I don't know where that comes from.
Okay.
It's definitely a more poppy mid-tempo vibe, and it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Brilliant. Brilliant.
yeah.
Rebecca's just saying that she works with frequency music on her son, who is you know, in bed all the time, not really fully, present. So, he survived a near-death experience from drowning. So she's seeing good effects about working with music in that way, which is wonderful. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I know I can just push a button on you, my friend, and you will give us much great wisdom as you already have done. Do you want to talk about music and healing and where you're at with it now and what you want people to be aware of in terms of what's available with your music and in general?
Yeah. So there's so many different facets of sound healing. You've got the vibro acoustic therapy, which is things that you're feeling. There's beds that play frequency into you, and you can go to sound immersions, the gongs and the didgeridoos played over you, where you're feeling that a vibration in a physical sense. But then there's things like binaural beats, where you put on your headphones and the two different tones help facilitate certain brainwave states, and those brainwave states can be healing. And then there's the other side of music and healing, which is just the feelings and moods that you're creating with people. And so what I'm trying to do with my music is do all three of those. I've built a sound bed and make sounds for beds. I also create music for group surround sound immersions,
Wow.
with the music. But I
Right.
also create binaural beats and headphone experiences, working with clients one-on-one for specific outcomes and intentions. And I love, being able to navigate in all of those different fields, because I really believe that it's all of them that we truly need. It's the vibroacoustic. When you feel that, it's almost a placebo for your body, where it's just like when you feel it, it's easier to believe it more, to get in touch with it more, because you can actually feel it in your physical body.
Mm-hmm.
And the headphones, a lot of people who have problems with meditation are saying, like, what I hear quite frequently is, I can't quiet my mind, I can't sit still, those kind of things. The headphones block out, any noise in the house or anything that's outside, a car backing up, or, just noise if you live in a city.
Right.
And it just blocks all that out. And it also does the same thing internally with the voices that clutter, all the to-do lists and the doubting and all of those different things that we go through.
Sure.
The frequency is just a disruptor. It basically disrupts the broadcast of the brain and says, hey, we're in the eye of the quiet storm right now. And so,
Right.
there's a new sheriff in town. And so it basically helps people to with their body awareness, their consciousness, and kind of, setting up a new to-do list, a new focus, a new intention. And so I just feel that sound is one of the most powerful things that we can use to heal
Mm-hmm.
the mind-body connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the mind-body connection is one of the most powerful things that we can utilize in our healing.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, and of course, there's other things, nutrition and diet and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it's the battle starts in the mind. To bring the
Mm-hmm.
healing, and even the people around us. I believe that it's really important for people who are struggling that don't have, like you were saying, how um, the near death experience left the person, unable to be present in that moment. There's a lot of different illnesses and traumas that happen to the body where that's not able to be there at that moment. And
Sure.
the sound is one of the only things that, uh, in this world, humans and songbirds, their heartbeats actually syncopate to the beat of music, and that the music actually utilizes and fires all parts of the brain simultaneously, activates. And it's a very, very powerful thing. You'll see it in everything from comas and cancer to autism and even Alzheimer's, where
Right.
music is making breakthroughs where there were none to be made. And
Right.
so
Wow.
I just believe it's very powerful, and that frequency music is the new future. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
see a lot more mainstream acts tuning to alternate tunings and looking
Mm-hmm.
at frequency more than just entertainment. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to
Mm-hmm.
be new intentions behind music, utilizing frequency and learning how to incorporate that into mainstream music. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so it's what I'm doing with listening to Smile, and what I'm trying to share with the world in my own way.
Yeah. Oh God, you're blazing a trail, my friend. Um, so you've got the headphones on. So let me play a little something here. What would you like me to play from Protocol?
Um, I have it set up to
Do
play. Do
you?
you think it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, because I got the first track. If you want me to play that.
Yeah, you're a much better DJ than I am.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
play it here.
be my guest.
Can you? Is the sound
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the title?
This is the first track off the album, the Increment of Great Development.
Okay. Yeah, something upbeat. You know.
So it's just, it's a poppy kind of number,
Yeah. Yeah.
utilizing the frequency of the throat chakra, octave below the in standard tune. So
Right. Right. It's great. I mean, I love hearing how you're using the different frequencies to, set a very specific intention that, we wouldn't have any conscious awareness of if if you hadn't shared that. Um, yeah.
yeah. Well, it's interesting because when I'm playing, whether it's a singing bowl or tuning fork, or whether it's a synthesizer,
Right.
when you're creating the tracks and layering them and building them together for the recording, there's an energy exchange, already between a musician and the instrument and the
Right.
recording device, that like you're transferring that sound to tape or to digital. And in doing that, I've just really been conscious as well in my music, to, I have Reiki training, and so I'm using Reiki when I'm especially on tracks where you're playing. You could take in today's age with the new computer, you could just take a note, and if you wanted that note to go present for the whole, track, and to have that, tone present, you would, play it for a few seconds and then drag it out and then just drop it in there. But what I'm doing is I'm taking a little more time in the process, and I'm playing those chords and holding it down the whole song, and I'm putting Reiki and energy into that with the intention for each
Wow.
track. And so
Wow.
I'm trying my best to transfer that intention and energy into those notes in that recording, and every piece of the process is that way. And so
Wow.
people often say to me, like, your music really sounds different to me, and I feel something, when I'm listening to it. And I really believe that it's the intention, and that it's the frequencies that are being used, and the
Right.
time and energy that's placed into that. And then everything from the artwork to the titles of the song, everything is meant to engage the listeners and to be a piece of art,
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm really trying to do, is to create something unique, special, that connects with the listeners. And so
That
I think it does make a difference.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant, my friend. I mean, we just did a channeling group last night, Ingrid Turner and myself in our class there, and we're seeing our students and friends, over the last 3 months, Ian, really have huge breakthroughs, specifically because of intention,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
that's brilliant that you're doing that. There's no way to overstate, I don't believe, I'm sure you'd agree, how powerful intention is,
Yeah.
you know.
Jonathan Goldman, who's one of the most famous sound healers that I
Hmm.
can think of,
Hmm.
him and Tom Kenyon, are the kind of the
Hmm.
two top
Right.
dogs there.
Right.
But Jonathan Goldman says intention plus sound equals healing. And I think you can take that statement, pretty much with everything. I think
Yeah.
intention is the beginning fuel for all recovery, for healing, whether it's trauma, whether it's an illness. I think that the intention, and the people who are in comas, or the people who are unable to hold
Yeah.
that intention for themselves, I think
Yeah.
the people that surround them is so important and vital for
Hmm.
friends and family to hold that intention for that individual, and
Hmm.
to put energy into that, speak into it. And I
Hmm.
believe that we're all here to help one another in that way.
Sure.
And I think that, it's important to say, like, there's so many artists and musicians and poets that have done that for me, that
Mm.
never have met me. We've
Hmm.
never
Sure.
had a connection, but just the simple fact that they, crafted, their product and their, song, poem, art, and put it out in the world, it affected change. And there's so many people that, when you look at artists and their development, all the different parts of, that fired at the right times to create those outcomes of inspiration. So
Yeah.
the same thing happens in the regular world, people who smile at you at the grocery store, and people who take time out of their day to help someone on the side of the road. These are all, creatives as well, and people who are creating change by doing those deeds. So we're all
Absolutely.
inspiring each other.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. It's beautiful. There was a quote I found from Rabindranath Tagore, who
Hmm.
said, until you understand that you're planting seeds for a tree under whose shade you will never sit, you don't understand the bigger picture.
Yeah, yeah,
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
yeah. It's I'm trying to remember. I think their name was Death, the band from the '70s. Do you remember them?
No.
It was an all black punk rock band, and so I was watching a documentary, and I'm pretty sure the band's name was Death, and there was a lead
Okay.
singer. The lead singer in the band, they were like punk rock before punk rock was punk rock. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the thing that was so interesting about this is that the lead singer kept telling people around him that he was going to pass away, and he really wanted the music to reach people. And he said, one day there's going to be people that come for this music.
Right.
And I just thought that was so interesting. And sure enough, 20, 30 years later, the one of the kids from the remaining members that were alive took a tape out to California. Some record label found it,
Right.
put them out there, and then they got the remaining members of the band to go back on tour with one of the sons and they put together the band and started playing, and it reached a whole new generation, a whole new level of people. And he did a lot of spiritual things with the artwork and things with the lyrics, and I
Yeah.
think that he was so far ahead of his time that there needed to be that gap for the world to catch up to what he was singing about, what they were writing about. And
Hmm.
it's just interesting how things like that happen all the time. Like you look at Van Gogh, one of the most influential artists that did something so groundbreaking and creative, putting the movement in the paint. And it took 100 years for the world to catch up to what
Sure.
he was doing.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's brilliant, my friend. It's as you said, I feel the same as you about all these beautiful topics here, and the energy of this year is just clearly after 2018 has had been so intense and so really challenging for a lot of people, and then to suddenly have this shift from 6 planets retrograde to 6 planets direct for months, it's like drawing back the bow, you know.
Yeah.
So it is a great time to work with everything that inspires us, as you're saying, and to trust that there's magic in the air, as the saying goes, and
Yeah.
we don't have to figure it all out. Thank God, none of us are able to, but we get inspired, we follow through, we trust, and then we put it out in the world and we see what comes of it. And we never, these are all seeds that we're planting. As I said, they're never finished. They're always new beginnings. So it's a powerful time.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you like to play something else for us?
Yeah, but let's tell people about your
Sure,
code so that we can.
sure,
Yeah,
great.
so if people use the code at checkout when they buy the album, Lou Martin 19 at checkout, then you get 40% off of the album, and it supports Lou as well. Lou gets a percentage of each sale that's generated. And if
I'm just
people
I'm
are
just a hammy, and don't mind me.
and if people are interested in becoming an affiliate like Lou gets to share the music with his meditations and use it with his clients and share on his videos. And that's what the affiliate program is all about: giving the proper permissions and getting the albums every month, new music each month. Then I'm giving anyone that signs up from this video, I'm giving $125 off for the year, and it's $60 a month to be a member, and it gives you the permission to resell music just like you're doing off this video and use it with clients as well as groups and session work. So just wanted to put that out there so
Thank
people
you.
knew.
Well
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
Well, you saved me from strangling it. So thank you very much. Yeah,
Yeah, no
brilliant.
problem. So which track would you like me to uh
Whatever floats your boat, my friend.
okay.
Yeah.
Um
The parable of the untold sounds intriguing.
okay.
But go
Yeah,
with,
that
you know.
so Parable of the Untold, the reason why that title is there is because, you know, I'm really into a lot of weird subjects, and I love David
Yeah,
Icke, and he intrigues me. A lot
sure.
of
Same.
not everything, but most of the stuff. I'm just like, wow, this is some far out stuff.
Yeah.
So the moon has always intrigued me as to just what the moon is and its
Right.
purpose and how all of that functions. Because when you look at the moon, a lot of NASA scientists have said it doesn't make sense that the moon is in the orbit that it is, and that
Sure.
it doesn't have enough mass to stay in orbit the way,
Right.
and it makes no sense that it's in the orbit that it's in. So
Right. Right.
I think that's where the name comes from, is Parable of the Untold, and the frequency that we're using is the moon frequency on this track, and so that's what
Brilliant.
this is. And I'll just give you a minute of it here.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So
that's powerful.
yeah, it was really, I wanted that to be a very immersive track that kind of took you in to like a womb type of feel. And
Yeah.
it's using bells, singing bowls, tuning forks, cello, synthesizer, and it's really powerful. The cello is definitely one of my favorite instruments. I love that instrument, and you can get some really low frequencies, you know,
Wow, I did
out of
not even
that.
hear the cello in there. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. The cello has delay and reverb on it, so it sounds a little, but it's really neat.
Right. How did is this with binaural beats? That wah 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 wah
The
wah
wah
kind
wah.
of
No,
effect?
that so what that is that's creating it. It's almost a binaural beat, but it's not. It's not truly what I would call a binaural beat, but it's the same premise. It's the same idea of utilizing the speaker panning so that the cello is in one speaker and the synthesizer is in the other speaker. But if you notice in the beginning of that track, there was like a feedback effect. And that was actually a keyboard that I used one of my plugins, on the computer where you could generate the kind of wobble and kind of a harmonic feedback that you heard that sounded like a guitar feedback. And so I just wanted that to be this kind of really mysterious kind of sound that kind of leads you into that, immersive meditation.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you couldn't listen to that with your eyes open. I had to go inward.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely.
that was it.
There's a lot of dynamics in the meditation songs this month where they start one way and they have it's like a sound journey where they just have waves that you ride, like where how that was so powerful sounding with the cello and all the different everything dies down in the middle of the song and it just leaves the bells and the singing bowls.
Okay,
And then it comes back with the cello. So there's a lot of different dynamics in the tracks that way.
okay. I have to ask you since I'm looking at it here.
Okay.
I know the Urantia book, but I don't know what the Uranometria is.
It's a book from the 1600s, I believe, and it was just basically a book that there was star charts mapped out, and it was basically things that were um, not included in kind of the present day education. And so there's a lot of people that cite that book and talk a lot about the things that it puts forth and so I just found it really intriguing and I thought it was a really cool idea for people to kind of like, hey, what is this book? Let's go check it out.
Sure,
So
sure.
I put little tidbits of things in there that I want people to
Good,
to check
good.
out. Yeah, yeah.
And do you also do include some liner notes a bit each week,
Yeah,
each month? Yeah.
yeah, and if you scroll on the album, if you scroll down to the album info, it has everything about the frequencies each month. It shows, what the frequencies used and the intention and where they come from. And
Right.
then it also has the titles, often are bringing forth knowledge and, things that I find intriguing that I would love to share with people. So a lot of that is in there as well.
Yes, I just had to click the link. It was,
Yeah,
shrunk up.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're such a brilliant student of esoterica, my friend. You really put me to shame. I have to confess.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but that's brilliant, and it's just exciting to get all these little nuggets. Not only is the music wonderful, but it's all designed at particular frequencies to through your Reiki work and your energy and your intention to put people in a particular state. So the listening to it raises our consciousness, helps us to heal, helps us to awaken more consciously to our spiritual nature. Excuse me. And then you're giving all these little prizes in the Cracker Jack there,
Yeah,
of look into this, look up that. Yeah, wonderful.
yeah. Yeah, my uncle is an artist for a living, and he is friends with and knows Alex Gray and Drum
Right.
Below from the Flower of Life,
Mm-hmm.
books.
Right.
And so I was really lucky at an early age that my uncle started telling me about the Ascended Masters and all of the Flower of Life books, and got me into a
See, you
lot
got
of
a head start.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was like 2001 or 2000 that he started, so it
Right,
was about, 18 years ago.
right.
But yeah, he started just kind of putting those nuggets in there for me. And,
Mm,
I started going down that rabbit hole, Graham
mm-hmm,
Hancock and
mm-hmm.
David Wilcox and
Mm,
all of those
sure.
guys.
Yeah,
So yeah, I love it. I think it's fascinating. And I think anything that asks us to ponder that what if question, and to expand that what if into our surroundings and environments so that we stay open and not attached, but to learn and to be open, I think is
sh
what I'm trying to do.
sure. And Ian, can you talk a little bit about how you have, invited healers to take your music and do group events, yoga, meditation, dance, these kinds of things? Can you speak a little bit about how that's worked for you?
Yeah. So in Charleston, South Carolina is where I was located when I started this project a few years ago. And I was hosting these small groups, 7 people, 10 people. And they were really profound and powerful, having some really great experiences with people. And over the years, the music has progressed to different sound quality and to different tempos and genres of music. And so it's expanded, and a lot of people on Facebook, when we do the events and things like that, they would say, hey, I really love this music and I want to use it with my practice. How can I do that? And so it started happening so much, and that's not where my mindset was with it. I was just really sharing it with my local hometown there. And
Right.
so many people started reaching out that I decided, okay, universe, affiliate program, here we go, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so we started the affiliate program to give the proper licensing and permissions for people to use the music. And it just started taking off. There's 50 affiliates worldwide from Australia. In Australia is the most surprising to me. I think we have 7 or 8 groups of people. I think it's
Wow.
8 groups of people using the music in Australia, and I've never stepped foot in Australia.
Right.
And even down to the this year where we've got some plans in the works to work with the Western Australian Symphony Orchestra with frequency art and sound frequency and
Brilliant.
art, lighting, light installation to really give people a dynamic experience. And so it's just grown to the point where I've offered that people apply, and tell us how they want to use the music, and sign up for the affiliate program. And it's a way that they can use it with Facebook Live, they can use it on YouTube videos, they can use it with personal clients one-on-one, they can use it in group settings to create money, charging a ticket price for sound immersions and guided meditations.
Hmm.
And it's something that has really opened up a lot of opportunities for sound to go more mainstream, because you don't have to be a sound healer, you don't have to be a musician, but you're able to utilize the music. You get new music each month, and a lot of diversity with the music, and able to share it with people, and to use it as a source to create more income, and to use it as a source to um, utilize it with your clients.
Brilliant, brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant, brilliant. Well, and as I said, I got to hang out with my friends Shan Brown and Jimmy Darkhorse, and we did some recording together. So maybe I'll send some stuff your way and see if you get any inspirations to play with it. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
All right, that'd
Yeah,
be
that's
great.
awesome.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Well,
Yeah.
brother, you're a true hero and a genuine inspiration. You have a good woman in your life. You're a very very lucky man. Yeah, she's backing you up 1,000%.
Yeah,
Is there
definitely.
anything else you want to leave us with before we leave off today?
Um, yeah, I think that if the people who purchase the album just remember to Lou Martin 19 get 40% off, and the that's my challenge, is that for the month of January to utilize this album and see what outcomes. I'd love to hear feedback from people that experience the album in its entirety, and try it out a few times and see if it helps them relax and find anything coming up, because for each person we're all different vibrations, different outlooks, and you know, just flows of life.
Yeah,
And so, you know, everyone will experience it in a different way. And I love getting feedback and hearing what people think about it. And whether it's criticism or critique or whether it's praise or excitement, you know, we love hearing everything.
sure,
So,
sure. I think it's
yeah.
more of the latter and less of the former, but you know, that would be my
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And so, of course, everyone can go to the link that's on my page or listeningtosmile.com. And of course, you have your own Facebook page for people as well.
Yeah.
Anywhere else you want people to connect with you?
Ian at listeningtosmile.com is my email, and
Very good.
listeningtosmile.com is the website, and they can go to Bandcamp, you know, listeningtosmile.bandcamp.com is where they can buy the albums.
Right. Brilliant. Yeah.
And, you know, Lou Martin 19, 40% off. Support
Yeah.
Lou and
Yeah.
all the amazing work that he's doing.
Thank you. Thank you. You're very kind. Thank you, my friend. What tune shall we go out with?
Listen to 528, let me pull it up here. You
Sure.
want me to play it?
Yes, please. Do a little closing music for us.
Okay.
Yeah. We've had our dinner. Here's the dessert.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Beautiful. What's that called?
That is, hold on, that is the sun frequency actually, and it's the codes for the upgrade, and
Okay.
that's, yeah, the frequency of the sun. That was the end of it, like towards the end of the song.
Very good. Very good. Beautiful. Codes for the upgrade. Let's get some. Yes. Sounds wonderful. So Ian Morris at listeningtosmile.com and Lou Martin 19 gets you 40% off. And let's do this thing, everyone. Thank you for being here, Ian.
Thank you. I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, brother. Thanks a million. Have a wonderful one. My best to you and your lady. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Peace and blessings. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.